weather this time of year in the South? Perfect. Fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the for the Niners. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And these are the kind of plays that defenders dream about. A chance to get a big running start and go after the quarterback. He was not at all put off by the option. I think he committed to the quarterback right from the outset, and he was able to get in there and put the hit on him.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. They're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First and 10, it's Patterson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Falcons in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. decide to keep this once more. He'll pitch it, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Lance. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mitchell. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now a play fake. Lance. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on the job.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Anthony Ferkser. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
First down, here's Mitchell. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On play action, Lance. Escaping the pressure right. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to say,
touchdown, Falcons! Cordero Patterson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Koo now for the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. 21-0 our score after 1. Here's Koo to kick it off. Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Play action, now it's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. That's complete, it's Brandon Ayuk. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll go again with Patterson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners will take over possession here up at the 44. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Lance. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Here we go, here we go. Trail green. Yellow blue.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Lance. And it'll be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Switch, yellow.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Third down, here's Patterson. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Boy, that went straight out of bounds, and that will set the return team up in the red zone already. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Gold is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Catch by Brandon Ayuk there, and you can see the potential he has to be a big-time playmaker. Over 800 yards as an NFL sophomore, still chasing that first 1,000-yard season. Nice catch there to move the chains.
38. Red cycle. Black ultra.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 33. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Once more, they turn to Patterson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
He'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
Ready. Hey, check,
He's going to keep this again. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper in at 2nd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got room. Spins away. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, he's definitely difficult to account for out of the backfield, and he makes something happen there with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and this is nothing more than a simple screen pass, but he does a really nice job of showing patience and letting his blockers get out in front of him, and he turns it into really nice yardage.
Patterson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and sneak it here. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Now that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And Lance now to throw.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, set. 43 round.
Here's Patterson again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are right back in this football game.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Here's Lance to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw, it's Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. On the move past the 40. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now left side on the swing pass. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0 and lost 5.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
On the double.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Lance. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
On play action, Lance. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Running the counter, Patterson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, Patterson. Ambry Thomas up to make the play defensively. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Patterson running between the tackles. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run with Patterson. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The man is Ayuk complete and brought down, but a big gain, a gain that they needed. The only thing to keep in mind here is with him being tackled in bounds, that clock is moving. On 1st down, Lance. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Lance looking to throw it. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Now Gold for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Falcons, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.